All right, guys. So, week 44 for 2019. And those of you who have joined me recently, I haven't been doing this 44 weeks, okay? I break my weeks down into how many weeks there are in a year, and that's where I get my weekly number from. So, technically, this isn't week 44 of my IC adventure. This is week 44 in the year. This is only like week, 15, 16, something like that. This is only week 17 of my IC adventure. So just remember, this is an idea of what you can do. This is not an idea of what you're going to do, because everybody's expectations are different. Everybody's work ethic is different. Everybody does things differently. So your bills are going to be different. So it's going to vary slightly or dramatically, depending on what kind of a person you are. Are you dedicated? Or are you not dedicated? This is a job that requires dedication. You can't just come running up in here and think you're just going to make out like a bandit. I mean, I read a thing on Facebook just yesterday. This guy is leaving because he hasn't grossed over $600 a week driving as an IC, and everybody's like, what are you doing? And those are my thoughts exactly. I mean, my worst week was $600. So anyway, so week 44 numbers we got. Let me look at this. Last week, I think I said I did $1.13 a mile. I was wrong. It was $1.36 a mile. So I was off on that because I transposed the numbers, because, you get, dyslexic sometimes. It was 32,864 instead of 36 or 38,264, something like that. Anyway, so this week, total was 30,93.52. Now, there was a cancellation. I got there. I'll tell you all about that in a minute. But there was a cancellation. So it was actually $29.43.52 plus $150 for a VNU, which is vehicle not used, for those of you that don't know. So revenue, $30.93.52 on 1,677 miles. So that averaged out to be $1.84 a mile. All miles, right? Whenever I do this, it's all miles. Okay. Fuel used was 902.34. So I did use an exorbitant amount of fuel, but I didn't fill up at the end of last week, at the end of week 43. So I still had a rollover in there, and I went ahead and took care of it, because I hate riding into the beginning of the week with regardless of how you look at it, you're going to spend the money on the gas. So unless you're turning the truck back in and you want to turn it in empty how you got it, fill up, man. You unless you desperately need the cash, which at the point of week 17, if you desperately need the cash, you desperately might want to look at other options as far as driving. Fixed expenses were as usual. Okay, so they were 1148.29 this week. They were 1146.64 last week. They went over my insurance, and apparently, sorry if it's a little shaky, I'm being unloaded. They went over my insurance because I sent them an email saying, could you please look and see about lowering whatever it is, because the value of the truck goes down every day. Every day you drive it, it goes down. So every 6 to 8 to 12 weeks, you want to send an email or call the person at the insurance that you're supposed to call and get them to lower your physical damage. It was supposed to go down to a certain amount. It went down to, maybe they gave me a prorated amount for 2 weeks. I'm not sure. It went down to 105.36 and went back up to 107.01, which is what it was originally supposed to be. So I thought I was like, yeah, they lowered it. All right. But no, they didn't. So anyway, so we're back up to 1148.29. But, from being at 1154.05 to 1148.29, that's $6 a week, which is $300 a year. So if you look at it, if I call, say, every quarter, that's every 4 weeks. I'm sorry. That's every 12 weeks. So that's $72 per phone in that I'm going to save approximately. So, because the difference will vary on the insurance amount that they take off. So if you look at it that way, the first one, there's no deduction. Second quarter, there's $72 less. Third quarter, that makes $144 less. And fourth quarter, that makes 200 and do the math, 210. Okay, something in there. My fuel card fees were only $2 out of the 3 fill-ups because I did fill up once at an OC, which, yeah, don't fill up at OCs because you're not really getting anything. I mean, you get no shower credits, you get no points from Pilot or anything like that. Regardless of that fact, once I start using my TCS card again, I got to reimburse it. I will be getting better money. What are you doing? Stupid computer. And so my fixed expenses were 68 cents a mile. And like I said in a previous video that I may not have posted, your fixed expense mileage will always vary depending on how many miles you drive per week. So if I drove 2,500 miles, it would only been like 50 cents a mile or so, because the week before that it was 38 cents a mile and I drove like 3,000 miles, right? So what are those expenses called? My variable expenses, which include the fuel, and my cell phone is really a fixed expense that I have on here because I use a portion of it for work. The heavy use tax is a fixed expense as well, but I have it it was in the variable expenses, so that's where I put it at. My variable expenses were 55 cents a mile, for a total of $1.23 a mile expenses and $1.61 a mile in profit. Although my daily profit was still low, and the reason why last week was lower than I usually shoot for is because I had to sit all day Tuesday in a reset in the middle of, was that the Lake Park episode? Yeah, at Lake Park, and there was nothing coming out, and I didn't do a reset. I was just trying to get a load out of there because I had just drove down there from the house. So that wasn't last week. Wow. I am like so... These days just blend together sometimes, you know, guys? Anyway, so total profit, 1023. But, you know, you're not going to see all that because you got your escrow account that's building up to... It's almost done building up. So I'll be seeing an extra $50 a week. And then you got your maintenance account that comes out every week. So there's almost $200 right there that you're not going to see every week. But you still got to pay taxes on it. So don't forget that. Anyway, so 1,677 miles at $1.80 for a mile. And this week, not looking too bad. Yeah, I'm going to post a video on here in addition to this of an idiot making a U-turn coming out of a thing. Almost freaked the Walmart girl out, that poor girl. Yeah. Anyway, so now I'll just post these numbers. I'll post that video on a different thing. That way, if you want to watch the video of the almost wreck scenario that I ran across 2 days ago, because that's this week, that's not last week. So week 44 numbers, still looking good. And this month has just started, but we're averaging. Okay, so that was the first check for this month. So last month I actually got my average that I've been getting, which was $1.51 a mile. So that's for all miles, So, you know, is that the best? Yeah, I say it every time. It's not the best you can get. But I mean, if you're running all miles and trailer coverage and all that. Anyway, those are week 44 numbers. You know, keep the left door closed, keep the hammer down.